Hello everyone. I hope you all are keeping safe, washing your hands, maintaining social distance, wearing a face mask when required, and last but not least, staying at home. Children, these things are really important in these critical times. Please keep doing all these things unless and until the situation improves. All right? Life is an ongoing process. It is continuous. We all know that. No matter what difficulty comes in our lives, it keeps moving one way or the other. Man has been adapting to various situations since the time immemorial. So here we are with the video lectures for all of you that would facilitate the teaching learning process during this lockdown period. I am going to start with the literature section. Today I am going to teach you a poem. The poem that I have selected is an interesting one. I'm saying this because it is interesting not from the point that it is related to the present situation. Yes, I am referring to the present situation, COVID-19 pandemic, and also the way we people are behaving in these critical times. This poem not only is relevant to the present time, but also suggests a solution, a way out of it. How we can come out of this, or how we can, if not a complete solution, at least, how we can improve the situation, which is really very important to my mind, I think. Now, before I, take up the stanzas of the poem one by one and explain it to you, I would describe three pictures one by one. At the end of the description, you have to tell me. Okay, you cannot tell me because it is not a two-way communication. So you have to think as to what is the common thing among all the three pictures. All right. Now, before I begin the description, for the convenience, let us name the pictures. So, picture A, picture B, picture C. All right. Now, I'm going to describe them one by one. Now, picture A, in picture A, there is a forest. A part of this forest has been cleared, which is clearly, showing the process of deforestation, which we are doing for our own progress. In picture B, in picture B, there is a sewer cleaner. Sewer, when I say sewer, that I am not, referring to a pig here. Actually, there are many words in English which are spelled differently and pronounced differently. So here, in order to understand who a sewer cleaner is, you need to understand what does the word sewer mean. A sewer is an underground conduit. Conduit means a channel, an underground channel, gutter, so which carries off the waste matter. So a sewer cleaner is in a gutter cleaning it, and that too without any protection equipments. Please keep this in mind because I shall be back to it. Now in picture C, a man is being thrashed brutally, kicked or beaten up brutally by a mob in public. A mob, these groups resort to violent means if you do something, or if you follow something that they do not approve of, which is their actions are highly objectionable because it has serious consequences in a society. Okay, so 3 pictures I have described. I have finished my description. So can you now think of that common thing among the 3 pictures? Okay. See, when you would analyze, let us analyze it one by one, and the common thing would come up on its own. All right. So in picture 1, I told you that it is, the picture, of deforestation, which is happening for our progress. Here what damage is being done? Here what damage is happening? This damage is to the nature. Nature is being damaged here. We human beings think that this is a very wrong belief of ours, that we think that we are at the center of the universe. We are the center of the universe. No. The center of the universe is the nature, not us. We are merely a part of it. We should not forget it. If you have ever been to a forest which is surrounded by big tall mountains, how do you feel? How do you feel there? You just feel a tiny being, tiny creature in front of all those big mountains. How do you feel in front of an ocean? You feel a tiny creature. You feel like you are nothing in front of them. This I have felt. You also must have felt. So let's not get into it too much. So here, damage to nature is being done. All right, just keep this in mind. In picture 2, where a sewer cleaner is cleaning without any protection kits. Here he's damaging his own body, right? Here he's damaging his own body. Very clear. And because he might get any disease, because he's working with the waste matter, which contain lots of bacteria, various virus, many kinds of microorganisms, many kinds of fatal or microorganisms. So here the damage is, what damage is happening? Damage to your own body. In the third picture, picture C, when a mob is a mob is, thrashing a man in public, it is giving rise to communal, tension. In the future, it will give rise to communal riots, which has serious consequences in any society. So here, damage is being done to the society, right? Here, the damage is being done to the society. So now let us, one by one, again go to these pictures and see what damage is happening. In picture A, damage to nature is happening. Damage to the nature is happening. In picture B, damage to a man. In picture, B, a man is damaging his own body. So man is damaging his own body, right? In picture C, damage to the society. So when such kinds of damages are happening, it's a problem. It's a problem which needs to be addressed, which really needs a solution. So what is the solution? What is the way out of it? What way we can, get out of it? Get out of this problem? The only way with which we can, get out of this problem is introspection. What is introspection then? Introspection is the examination of one's own thoughts and feelings. This means that when you examine your own thoughts and feelings, you understand them. You understand the things what you are doing, all right? When you start asking during introspection, when you ask questions like if whatever you are doing is right or wrong for me or for the society, then only correction can happen. You can correct your behavior. We can correct our behavior. And the other thing is mutual understanding. With the mutual understanding among all of us, we can come out of this problem. This mutual understanding is actually the result of this introspection. Because unless you introspect, this mutual understanding will not be generated. All right? So, in this poem, which is titled Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda, he talks about the importance of introspection and mutual understanding. Now, let us start the poem. I hope the central idea is clear. Now, it would be easy for you to understand the poem. We shall take up the stanzas of the poem one by one. The poem begins like this. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. So here in the first stanza, the writer is addressing, whom the writer is addressing? The writer, who are the we here? Together with the author. He's addressing, he's addressing the readers. He's addressing us. He's asking us to count to 12 within us, within our mind, and during this counting we shall all keep still. Keeping still means we shall not move. We shall not move. We shall neither move nor will move our arms or the parts of our body. Now, the first stanza had only two lines. One more thing that I wanted to point out in this stanza, that why 12? Why not 13? Why not 15? Why not 9? See, to my mind, if you ask me, to my mind, this number is arbitrary. It is only referring to a short period of time. It doesn't have any influence on the progress of the meaning of the poem. But if you get any question related to this line, and if you are asked to explain this line, then you can write that this 12 is referring to the divisions of time, because on a clock we have 12 numbers, right? So it is referring to the division of time. It is just a measure of time. That is it. Now, in the second stanza, it is written, "For once on the face of the earth, let us not speak in any language. Let us stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much." See, on the face of the earth means the planet Earth, right? On the face of the earth, that is on the planet Earth, there are different types of people. There are different types of people with different languages. There are different languages. There are different cultures, right? So many things that are different among us. He asks us not to speak in any language, because this language, this sound, speech sound, the speech sound, sound is a manifestation of the thoughts of the person concerned. All right. So whenever we speak up, we not only speak, it is not just sound, it is our opinion, it is our thoughts. And as I said that there are different kinds of people, so when we speak up, we give rise to chaos. It gives rise to chaos, disorder, disagreement in the society. So that is why the writer, that is why this could be a reason that the poet is asking us to asking us not to speak in any language. He doesn't want any kind of disagreement among us. He doesn't want any kind of chaos for some moment. And he also says that not move our arms so much. Why he is not asking us to move our arms so much? Because when you will move our arm, when we will move our arms, then we would not be able to focus on this, silence that he is asking for, right? So that is why no movement, so that we can completely focus on this period of silence. We can completely focus on this silence. so that we can, introspect. Now let us, take up this third stanza. It begins like this. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Is there any difficult word? Yes, there is. That is exotic. So what does this word mean? This word means unusual, strange. All right? In order to appreciate this, stanza, you need to understand what an imagery is. Several times I have explained this imagery to you, but I'm sure you must have forgotten. You all learn and forget. Not an issue. I explain it again with the same example that I give in the class. If I say a stream is flowing down the hill, the moment I finished this sentence, or just before it, your mind imagined certain, pictures inside. And what pictures your mind visualized? The picture of a stream and the picture of a hill. So it is called visual imagery, because your mind could visualize it. And this sentence does not have only visual imagery, it also has, auditory imagery, because the word flowing down the hill. So the moment you hear the word flowing, your mind can hear it inside. Your mind can hear it. Hear the sound of a stream flowing. So it is called auditory imagery. So imagery is, a word picture. A word picture. All right? In general, we say. And there are many other types of imagery that we don't need to discuss now. All right, so here writer says that when we will be silent for a moment, for a few seconds, means for a few moment, it would be an exotic moment, it would be an unusual moment. So what is usual in order to understand what unusual is, you need to understand what is usual first. All right. I always tell you that, in order to understand, black, you need to understand what white is, right? So here you need to understand what usual is. Only then you will be able to understand what exotic is. So this would be an exotic moment. So what is a usual moment for all of us? The screeching, the hustle and bustle of the cities, the hustle and bustle of the city life, the screeching of the traffic, the sound from the industries which are running, right? Several sounds, several kinds of sound, various kinds of sounds we hear, right? So it is characterized by, commotion. So that is usual. That is one of the characteristic features of the modern world, right? So but this moment, this short period of time would be an exotic moment. This would be exotic because we all would be, silent. We would not be doing anything. We will not be doing anything for a moment. Nobody would be doing anything in the factory. All the workers would be standing. All the workers would be keeping still. no sound in the traffic, no screeching of the traffic, no hustle and bustle of the cities. That is why it would be an unusual moment for all of us, right? That is why the writer has used this word exotic. I hope you understood. And this strangeness will be, he's writing that we would all be together in a strange, in a sudden strangeness. So this exotic moment, this strange moment would be, this moment of silence would be binding us together. Because why, how will it bind us? Because since we all would be silent, so this silence is something which will be common among all of us. That is why it will be the binding force. All right. So that is why he says that we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. I hope this stanza is clear. Let us read the fourth stanza. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. So the literal meaning of this stanza, I'm sure, is very clear to you. But what is important here is, its contextual meaning. So let us understand its contextual meaning. Here, fisherman is referring to, or here fisherman is a metaphor or symbol for all types of hunters. All types of hunters who are busy exploiting the resources of the nature. Resources of the nature, right? And when we will all be keeping still, there will be no one to exploit the nature's resources, all right? And similarly, in the third line, and the man gathering salt, here the man gathering salt gatherer is again a symbol for all those people who are working endlessly. They are so busy in order to make their lives comfortable. They are so busy in their work that they do not have even time to think for or look at the injuries of the body, right? Which is happening, during the course of during the course of the work that they are doing. All right, so we stop here, and we shall continue the remaining stanzas in the next lecture. At the end, I would like to share an important thing with all of you. NIOS, that is National Institute of Open Schooling and Education Board under the Central Government of India. It, along with CBSE and NCERT, has started live classes. Several television providers of the country like Videocon, Airtel, Dish TV, etc., they are broadcasting the recordings of these live classes. Please watch them. It would help you in your study. Just note down the channels on which they are broadcasting it. On Tata Sky, the channel number 756. On Dish TV channel, it is the channels are 946, 947, 949 and 950. On Airtel, it is 437, 438 and 439. And on Videocon, it is 475, 476 and 477. All right. Thank you so much.